We know there's smoke, but is there fire to go along with Diana DeGette's fear that a Denver plant is putting the public's health at risk?
Well, the state says no. People who live and work nearby say absolutely the air is toxic.
Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski listened to all the claims and concerns for tonight's 360 report.
In picturesque downtown Denver, where skyscrapers frame Rocky Mountain peaks, there's a hidden polluter just 5 miles north of the city.
I saw a really big plume of fire.
When chemicals from the Suncor refinery spew into the air near her home, Leanna Flores often documents it.
Sometimes it smells like rotten eggs, sometimes it just smells like chemicals.
One chemical in particular now has the attention of Colorado Congresswoman Diana DeGette.
There's a Suncor refinery pumping thousands of pounds of hydrogen cyanide into the air.
So let's clear the air and go 360 for 5 different viewpoints on hydrogen cyanide, asking the question, are these toxic clouds coming from Suncor safe?
It's currently classified as a chemical weapon.
DeGette says absolutely not, and plans to introduce legislation to force the EPA to act. She wants to close the loophole she says is allowing Suncor to release this toxic chemical into the air unchecked.
Instead of saying, let's find out what's safe and what's not, they said, well, nobody knows the exact limit, so let's just go ahead and pump as much as you want.
Her bill requires the EPA to set an emission standard for hydrogen cyanide, which Suncor and other refineries would have to adhere to, and immediately limit their emissions.
We cannot sit back and allow our community's health to be placed in jeopardy like this.
Let's now bring in our air quality expert.
It's considered a hazardous air pollutant by US EPA.
Gary Kaufman is the guy in charge of the state's air pollution division. His agency granted Suncor its permit to release hydrogen cyanide.
Well, hydrogen cyanide is something that's emitted from all refineries. Exposure can range from breathing difficulties to throat irritation. If the levels are high enough, it could cause death.
While there are health risks associated with this chemical, Kaufman is standing by the limits his agency set.
It's not a problem if it's emitted at lower levels.
He says the concentrations people are being exposed to near Suncor are well below established health-based standards.
We've looked at the hydrogen cyanide issue, and that in and of itself doesn't pose a health risk.
Suncor wouldn't go on camera or comment specifically on hydrogen cyanide. The company tells us it strives for ways to reduce emissions and aims to operate a safe facility. But homeowners like Flores and Loretta Martinez aren't buying it.
No, I don't believe it.
Martinez has lived in Denver's Swansea neighborhood for 38 years and has lost track of the number of scares from the refinery. She doesn't believe the air quality is safe.
I'm asthmatic, so I make sure that I close my windows not to breathe it in. I got my vaporizer and nebulizer.
Just a few years ago, a toxic orange cloud triggered road closures and warnings to stay inside. For her, the concern isn't just hydrogen cyanide. This report obtained by Denver 7 shows an Excel power outage resulted in the release of more than 100 pounds of hydrogen sulfide, a poisonous, corrosive, and flammable chemical, and more than 500 pounds of sulfur dioxide, which can cause breathing problems over time. Martinez is glad to see someone stepping up for her and her neighbors.
I need to clean up their act.
DeGette is the chair of the House Oversight Panel that oversees the EPA. She plans to introduce this legislation next week. It would impact refineries nationwide. Now, this has been an ongoing issue for many people who live in North Denver, so Ann and Shannon, it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how this plays out.
So interesting. A lot riding on this.
Yeah. Definitely.
Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you.